A7. Hashtag Lemon Musk. Hashtag X. PageSix.com. Hashtag First TV A7A. PageSix TV. Don Lemon breaks silence on list of diva demands to join Elon Musk's X. Quote, people negotiate all the time, end quote. By Ian Moore, published March 20th, 2024, 6:48 p.m. Eastern. Houston, we have a problem. After reps adamantly denied that Don Lemon had a list of diva demands to join Elon Musk's X, the ousted anchor admitted in a new interview, quote, people negotiate all the time, close quote. Lemon didn't deny whether he really had ambitions to be the first podcaster in space, the most out of this world request among a heap of sky-high demands he made when hashing out his contract with Elon Musk's X platform. Before Lemon was axed from his X gig by Musk, he'd put in the moonshot request to go to space and also wanted a $5 million advance on top of an $8 million base salary, plus equity and veto power over the site's news policies and its creative roster. The Post previously reported. Article continues below.
All right. So let's be honest. I feel that the choice of the writer of the article, or if the writer was quoting somebody else, to call them diva demands, I kind of think that was a little piece of shade because he is same-gender loving, right? So, of course, they're diva demands, right? They could be Devo demands. And of course, while diva is the female lead of the opera, Devo is the male lead of the opera. I get it, to the extent that at the end of the day, the general public, popular culture doesn't understand what Devo is versus diva. You know, when they hear Devo, they're like, oh, you that group that sang Whip It? Older people think that. Because, yes, I was like a baby when that was new. Anyway, but yes, they don't know that the general public doesn't know that Devo is the male of a diva, because the diva is the female lead of the opera. Devo is the male lead of the opera. But they just call them diva demands for him because he was gay, and that's eye-catching. I get it. Cute. Okay. Yep. Anyway. As far as Don Lemon talking about people negotiate all the time, that reminded me of a show that I loved and love called The Critic that used to come on, I think, Comedy Central, starring John Lovitz as Jay Sherman. And I remember in this one episode, Jay Sherman was negotiating with his boss, like the head of the network, because the premise of the show, really quickly, is Jay Sherman is a critic, a movie critic, and he works on a television network, and everybody's got somebody to please, and he works for the head of that network. And the network did some like outstanding thing, because the running joke, I guess, is Duke Phillips was like a billionaire. The head of the network was like a billionaire and did some extravagant thing to get Jay Sherman out of trouble. And he was like, well, you owe me, boy. And Duke was like, so this movie, whatever the movie was, it's irrelevant. It was a bad movie is the point, though. And so what rating are you going to give my new movie? And Jay Sherman was like, okay, thank you for saving me. Yes, I will give it 2 stars. And Duke Phillips was like, 2, 1,000,000. 1,000,000 stars. And Jay Sherman was like, okay, 3 stars. And it's like, that's interesting, because in reference to people negotiating, that's what Duke was doing. You shoot for the neighboring galaxy, and at least you'll get among the stars if you miss the neighboring galaxy. So yes, as far as his demands, I think it actually would have been kind of cool to have the first podcast in space. And I feel that I should have looked up Elon Musk's age, but no, I did look it up. He's 71. Because I was going to say, having the first podcast in space actually is a really big deal. And you absolutely should do that. Now, I don't know if you pulled back from Don Lemon because you're like, we're going to do that same stuff, but we're going to do it with somebody else. And the industry can be complicated at times, because it's my understanding a rap female artist, that was her problem with this other rap female artist who came out, and everybody's going to remain nameless for the sake of this example. But this other rap female artist who came out, because she was like, those songs that you did, I actually did with that record company first. But then they magically pulled out of working with me. And next thing you know, they're working with you. And you come out with those songs. And the person is wildly popular